Ready?
Everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody today? Oh, rushing as ever. Let me just double check you can all hear. Let's have a look at the recording on one. Good, good, good. Pop us onto the, so I can see what's happening, please. There we go, we're there. Okay, everyone can hear. I hope everyone can hear us. Hi from Scotland. Hello, Gillian. Hello, David Amco. Hello, Penny. How's the holiday, Penny? Going well, I hope. Good. I can only hear you. Yes, and Louise is obviously here, but she's
not speaking.
She's being very quiet. That's not a bad camera angle considering I just chucked that camera up. Good. Good. Excellent. You can hear Louise as well. All good. Fantastic. Excellent. Oh, it's John Pauly again.
John, are you poorly?
Oh, bless. Good, excellent. So we're all good to go. How is everyone today? It's been a manic year, I can say so far. Haven't I? Really, it's been absolutely non-stop. Glad everyone can see us and hear us. Hope you all enjoyed the Q&A last week from our hotel room. That was nice and chilled and relaxed, wasn't it? That was really cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
No, it was good.
A lady of one word today.
Been rushing over me.
We haven't stopped today. Good.
Yes, we're back from holidays, first day back, so it's just busy catching up. Caught up on emails and website bits and pieces last night.
Yes.
To get a bit of a head start, but
didn't quite work out.
Obviously not enough.
No, not enough. We're still putting together the store orders, so thank you everybody who has placed an order on the store, as you can see down below. New products as well. Last night we put some wax carving tools, wax files and ferrous wax tubing. That went live last night. What other things we got to go for? What have we got to say?
Well, we came back from holidays Saturday. Yesterday we went to play Gemstone Bingo.
With
Kerry and Andrew at Cardiff with Geology Rocks, and that was great fun. Andrew cheated and won.
I did not cheat.
You did cheat.
I did not cheat.
You did cheat. You kept on finding topazes and saying they were aquamarines until one was an aquamarine.
No, I found an aquamarine. It was an aquamarine. I thought, oh, is that an aquamarine? Oh, perhaps a very pale topaz. I'll get one that's slightly darker. And it was actually, my first choice was an aquamarine. Stone of choice, didn't care about that one. I had the line. So what did I win? I won a Gemology Rocks mug.
Through cheating?
No, through hard work and sheer using my vast amount of experience to guess the gemstones. We had a bag full. Where she got all the bags?
You shouldn't have been guessing. You should have been looking for characteristics and inclusions and reasons for your decisions.
I was looking for the facets.
So you went by guessing and cheating?
No, experience. Experience plays a massive part in this game, obviously, if you don't have the gemological. And all you had was a loop. We could have taken gem testing equipment.
I know. Always read the email, because apparently it said in the email you can bring any gem testing equipment that you want. But I just skimmed over it and didn't read it in detail. But I could have brought basically everything at my disposal, and I do have a few bits and pieces. So I almost certainly would have beaten you had I brought my kit.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Perhaps next time.
Perhaps next time, yeah.
But we didn't win the full house, did we? So we didn't win that. But Lindsay from Creative Gems
in Ammonford, yeah. So we met some lovely people. We met Lindsay and
Paul
and Phil.
Yeah,
from Ammonford, and Dimitri from Gemology Obsession.
Yes.
So that's a really good account to follow.
Yes, Gemology
on Insta,
Obsession.
Gemology Obsession. Yeah. So so we had a really good afternoon, didn't we?
We did. Then we came back to the mayhem then this morning that we call work, and it's been really good. We had should you say about Rebecca? Yes, we had someone else start with us today on the bench. Her name is Rebecca, and she understands my drawings on what I'm thinking in my head, which is good. And she's getting on with it, which is even better. You explain, do this, can you do this? she gets on and does it.
Yeah,
so I'm really happy
she's
with
doing
that.
very well, isn't she?
That's the first day for Rebecca, so well done to Rebecca for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to say. Do you have anything else to say before we get cracking?
Lots. I've got some interesting things to show you all.
Good.
Some nice photos which some people have sent me over the last week. We did did some limited tests on last week's Dino poo, but it's a bit inconclusive because it didn't react to a magnet, so it's not iron. But Helena kindly emailed me and said that she's got a friend who works at the museum there, and apparently it glows orange under a UV light. But I've only got I'm assuming it's shortwave because that's the safe UV light, isn't it? Sorry, longwave. Longwave is the, I know none of them are safe, but it's the safer of the two.
Your torch didn't seem bright enough, so perhaps
it needs some new
batteries.
batteries.
Perhaps a bit more an intensive light, it may shine.
Yeah.
But it certainly wasn't magnetic, was it?
Certainly wasn't magnetic.
You tried it under a nice strong earth magnet. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Now.
What do you think, Dylan?
So we do have, it's not conclusive yet, but we're still doing tests on those.
Yes.
And we found more bits and pieces on as well, on the beaches, and we just had a really good time, didn't we?
We did. We went to the Victorian dump, but we just found Victorian rubbish, didn't we, really?
Absolutely.
Nothing of interest. We must have gone at the wrong time or didn't look properly, because you kept getting a bit too close to the
cliff,
and the mudslides, and I would come away, you're too close. And I was getting nervous, so you didn't really have a proper rummage, did you?
No.
So,
but I think you've got to go there and be prepared to spend all day rummaging.
I'll probably get dirty.
Yes, and not on the surface, but there was a guy there with a trowel and he was scraping everything back.
And you had your good jeans on and your tidy Mac, so I wouldn't let you get in the mud.
Nice.
Oh, colour streak. I forgot to do the colour streak, Susan.
We did it. Was that on what?
On the dino, the suspected dino poo.
What do you rub it on?
On a tile? Is it an unpolished tile?
Is it like a bottom of a ceramic dish?
Yeah.
Ceramic dish, it's a borax dish.
Well, it's in there. We can.
So I can grab
go. I think it's behind my desk. It does look like an actual real turd as well, which is not great. Yeah, try it on the. So what's it supposed to do, Susan?
Let's have a look. So if we can do it on the bottom of an unglazed dish. One said what we think is dino poo, but we don't know. It does leave
a brown streak.
A brown streak, yes. A brown streak, yes. So I'm not quite sure.
Skiddy dino poo.
Skiddy.
Red for hematite. Is it red or is it brown?
Definitely brown.
That's reddish.
That's brown. That is brown.
It's like a reddy brown, but it's more brown than red.
That's brown.
Isn't that? Yeah, David. It is a test for Jet. Yeah. Leaves a chocolate brown streak, I think, Jet, though, doesn't it?
There we go. Interesting. So that's about it.
I don't think it is iron, Susan, because it doesn't react to a magnet.
It's
nothing at all. It's completely inert with the magnet.
Yes. It looks like iron, looks like slag, but it's not. It's non-magnetic. And these are brown streak. A bit like poo, isn't it? Okay.
Okay, let's not dwell on this because we talked about the poo a lot last week. Do you want some questions instead?
So there we go. So it is Monday, the 30th of May, 2022. Time for our Q and answer, 4 p.m. It is. Let's have some questions, Louise. That is our first question.
Okay. David. So hi. We haven't seen David for a while. Hello. I'm in need of some advice for a project I'm working on, please. I'm making a signet style class ring for one of my kiddos. Who just graduated high school. I am planning to set two 5x10mm marquise parallel to one another, and I am not sure how to best set them in this style ring. I could use a little guidance on whether to prong or flush would be a better look, and if possible, a good place to begin with the setting.
Well, definitely, if you're going to flush is going to be really, really hard. I find flush setting fancy shapes are going to be really hard work because it has to be perfect all the way round. But what? Oh, why isn't my board working, Lou? Number 6. Where's number 6?
Mrs. Lloyd.
Why isn't my board working? My board working now? No.
What about your iPad? Can you use that?
Let's have. I've got other things. Let's try that, shall we? Is that any better? I got leads.
You right?
Yeah, I got leads. They're multiplying that. Board, come on, board. All right, for some reason we haven't got the board.
We can't have the board.
So you're gonna have to look at this. Okay, so marquise shape, yeah. If you try and flush set it, you've got to make sure that every little area is all the way perfect. Every little bit. If you have a gap here, you're not going to be able to push it over. So that's really going to mess about. I think, and I don't know how you're going to set this in relation to the ring, but if I was setting, for argument's sake, 2 side by side. For argument's sake, I think for me the simplest thing to do would be if you want to set these flush, okay, or flush-ish, I would, and say this is the top of your ring, and I don't know how it's going to look. Okay, so say this is a ring, and you want to set these for argument's sake, okay, so that's like that, and you want to set them for argument's sake like that. Let me try and zoom in on this camera so you can have a better look at it. Okay, so say you want to do that and you want to set them that way. What I would do is turn these stones upside down so they are upside down, okay, that way, looking from the side. Place them on the top, look down on top with your eye, yeah, look down this way with your eye, and then just draw around with a scribe exactly where you want them to go. Then what you can do is get a burr and burr out. So this now is going to be the side view. Okay, so this is another side view. I would burr out an area like that and an area like that, so the bottom of the stone now can go in. Okay, so you can get them as low as possible. Okay, like that. Then what I would do is basically put a little V shape. Let's use a different pen. Use a V shape prong there, 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 and there. Okay, that would be the simplest. If you're unsure and you're a bit scared about doing V prongs, perhaps put round one there, round one there, round one there. But as it's going to be within a ring, I would always make sure that you try and protect those there. Does that make sense? So then the top, you would have your V prong here. Yeah, and then you have a V prong here. And likewise here. I think how I'm going to draw this now. There we go. And likewise here. Yeah, and then your stones sit in. And there's your ring, and the ring comes down there. Yeah, does that make sense? That is how I would do it. And I don't know how you're going to set them, but by setting them within a V prong, you're going to be protecting the tips. There's lots of tips and tricks to look at. If you remember at the bench, there's tips and tricks setting marquee shapes with the V prongs. I'm not quite sure whether it's a pendant that we did or whether it was one of the rings, but that would be the best way to do it. Within a heavy ring, if you have them sticking too high, they're going to get caught. But by making sure that you take the lower part, pavilion, lower part of the stone down into the ring, you can make sure the stone's set nice and low, that isn't going to get into any difficulty. There we go. Let's have another question, please.
Okay, a question from Claire. Is there a technique using grainer tools? I'm trying to round off the end of 1mm prongs on a bangle which has pearl flowers sat on it. Seriously struggling. I think I've done it and they fall off.
Balling up.
Is there a technique using grainer tools? I'm trying to round off the end of 1mm prongs on a bangle which has pearl flowers sat on it.
So, but the flowers are falling off.
Yeah.
So does that mean you need to ball over the end of the wire? So is the flower, I think I've seen a picture of this of yours. Did you have this was the flower. Yeah, and on top of the ring. If you want to get this to stay on top, I think we discussed this in the past. Really difficult to do anything at all to get that flower.
Balling up.
Sorry?
It's balling up. Balling up.
You can't ball it up.
It's balling up or balling up.
You want to ball it up. Yeah. So you want to ball it up. So what you have to do is get your. This is the. Remember we did this. We sent some drawings, didn't we? Of how to do this.
That was for the ring.
This is a bangle.
This is a bangle,
the same
yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
If you use your graining tools, which is that the end is like that, and you have 1 millimeter wire, this is not going to mushroom over. It
won't ball up.
No, it won't. It's not made for that. This graining tool is purely just to round off the end. It's the wrong tool to make it bigger. The only way to make this bigger, this head, is to physically hit it with a hammer. So as you hit it downwards, then it spreads out. And that's going to be the only way to make that balling out. It'd be ideal if you came over to see us with the pieces and we can puck this together. Because I know with the flower we had here, what I was suggesting was you get the ball, so get the wire, you put the ball, then you put the wire through the flower, in this case through the underside, and then we would puck that wire on the underneath. Can you see that? Because that then is not going to incur any heat that's going to damage that. But a beading tool is just going to round the top. It isn't going to mushroom it, unfortunately. You physically have to hit it, which you may end up damaging the mother of pearl flowers, or do it this way and ball it up before you put the whole thing together. But if you want to do this, and if you want to come over and see us, contact Louise, and you're more than welcome to come over.
Give me a shout, Claire, because I know you're not a million miles away.
To see you. If you want to come over an afternoon, we can go through this.
We're not here Thursday, Friday though, and it has to be done by Friday.
If you're
I'm sure I read that it has
to. If you're on Wednesday, if you want to come over, I can't promise it can be done.
Yeah, give me a shout because we can arrange a time, because you're generally not here, are you, on a Wednesday, but you can be here if you need to be.
Yeah, so Louise at andrewberry.co.uk. Okay, and we can see what we can do for you, but certainly we will give you a hand, by all means, Let's have another question, Louise.
Cool, okay. Okay. Christine is working on a bezel, setting a squarish lapis cab. I want to curl up the rim of the back plate around the bezel like a plate or shallow bowl. Any ideas on how to achieve this? Sending a photo to Louise.
Oh, right. So you want to make a bowl shape like that, and you want to set a cab into it like that. Yeah. And that would go on the ring, The problem you've got is that the walls...
Do you want to see a picture of the lapis?
Yes, please, yes.
So just don't open it just yet. Don't share me just yet. Let me see if I can...
So why isn't my board?
Okay. There you go.
Okay.
Trying to keep the bottom flat.
And you want to make that, you want to encapsulate the stone with that.
A gorgeous colour.
Yeah. The problem you've got, so the sides need to come over onto the stone? Is that what we're on about?
I want to curl up the rim of this back plate around the bezel like a plate or shallow bowl.
So if it's the cab goes in that way, yeah? Is that like that? And then you want the sides to come over to hold the stone?
No, put a bezel wire around the stone.
Ah, okay, okay. Right, I understand. What you've got to make sure is that when you've got your plate here, you've got to make sure that when your cab is in place, that you've got enough space between the bottom that you've got flat and the start of the curve. So your bezel has to fit. How can I draw? You give me some really awkward things to draw here now. Really awkward things. Does that make sense? Quite sure why my camera isn't working. So this is like perhaps your bowl. You raised a bowl. Your cab fits in, but your bezel to the cab has to fit within the flat area. As soon as the bezel starts to go up the side, it's not really going to work. It's going to make life so much more difficult for you. So I would try and get it so the bezel fits. Stone comes down, that goes up, and the bezel sits before. As soon as the bezel starts to go up the wall here, you're going to have problems due to keeping this end, the bottom of the bezel, in contact with those pieces that you curled up. It is so much easier to try and get your bezel on that flat. Make sure that this area is completely flat, which is what it looks like you have done, and the bezel has to sit within that area. Do it that way. Don't try and get the bezel to come up on the edges of those bits, because you're never going to do it. Do you think that's what?
Does that help, Christine?
Does that help, Christine? I think that's what you mean. And as long as the bottom is lovely and flat, and the best thing about a bottom is you can put that up onto a steel block and you can hammer the bottom flat. But as soon as you start to do anything on these edges that come up, you're going to have a lot of problems. How's that? Let's have another question.
Okay. Helena is saying, any advice on making tidy miniature kilt pins in 1.2mm wire? I am on prototype 12 and still not happy with the results.
Okay, kilt pins. Are they going to be like the pins that we made for that Irish gentleman? Oh, I can't remember how we did them. I think we used about 1.2mm wire, and it was a long length. We sharpened the one end, and I made a jig out of a piece of wood. It was a piece of wood that was like that, yeah. And I think I had like a dowel here. I think I had a dowel there, and then I had a pin. It's like a lay. Do you know what I mean? Let's just do this on this way. Yeah. So I think I had a nail here, so I could put the wire in here with the sharpened end here. I could bring the wire around here. I could take that right round, bend it right round, come up here. I can't remember how I did it.
Did you make a film to refresh your memory?
No. No, I got one downstairs actually, because there's one I didn't send off.
Helena, do you want me to send you a photo of the one that we've got downstairs? Would that help?
And I can't remember how I did this. Did I just simply overlap there and then did that in a U shape so that locates? Can't remember off the top of my head, but I made a jig. I'm sure I've got pictures on my phone somewhere. But yeah, message Louise, send Louise an email, and
bear in mind, tiny, miniature, so they're going to be miniature. So, but it's the same principle, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Make it smaller. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a shout if you want.
It was a 2mm wire, 2.1, but I made sure it was hard beforehand. And obviously, because you twist the wire around the end dowel twice, it's going to add a bit of springiness to it, which is great. And then what I did on the end here, I grabbed the end of the wire and I twisted it about a half turn just to get a little bit of strength in that section. Work hard in that section there. But that's what I did. But yeah, message Louise and I see if we got the photographs, see if we got the one downstairs. It is a proper size. It's about 2.5 inches big, about 65mm in length. But we can certainly show you that, unless I've taken it apart and used it.
But the dimensions will be, and the proportions might be handy. But what are you not happy about? Maybe we can let me know in the email, and perhaps we can get some advice from Andrew.
Yeah.
To help with that as well. Let me know.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
That's another question.
Yep. Louise has been working on the workshop all weekend. Been laying a new floor, hoping to persuade my husband to give up a little bit more space. But as it took 20 years to get a small corner, just start slowly
moving,
eating your way into the space.
And being productive and showing what you can do.
Yeah,
see,
just little bit by little bit, just take over, like, just creep your things into the space. And you won't notice. That's what I've done with the wardrobe space, isn't it?
I've noticed.
Okay. Kerry McClandish, hello from Wales too. I emailed you, Kerry. Sorry we missed you the other day. Fab. David Payne, as a boy I spent a long time in hospital with a badly broken leg. I was jealous of the kids who came back from having their tonsils out because they got ice cream and we didn't. It's a bit drastic, isn't it, for an ice cream? Okay, Kenneth, hiya Kenneth. I want to make a bezel set ring using an opal stone. I'm thinking from the point of view of opal being very soft and delicate, I would be better to use a triplet. Any advice would be very helpful.
Your advice, Louise, on a triplet or a whole stone?
A triplet's going to be hopefully a bit more hard wearing afterwards when the ring is finished. For wear and tear you still have to be careful, but it's not going to be as easily damaged as a naked opal. I don't know what's
I don't know.
What's the word for
opal?
it? Yes.
Protected. No,
couldn't think of the word then.
A naked opal. There you go, guys. There's your next one for the chat, okay? It's not an opal triplet, it's a naked opal.
A naked opal, yeah.
Fine silver. I would definitely use fine silver because fine silver is going to bend easier over onto the stone. And as Louise said, an opal triplet is usually onyx, opal, quartz,
sometimes plastic, just any sort of clear material really.
Yes, and that's going to be
sometimes
better
glass.
Wearing. Yeah, better wearing.
But usually clear quartz.
Than a naked opal. And protected opal. So I think that would be the best thing. As I said, definitely.
But in terms of setting,
fine silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine silver, and don't try and bring things up too high. Just so Rebecca's doing a lovely amber pendant downstairs, and the amber, I've never seen an amber so deep because normally stones are sort of this sort of shape, but this amber is literally.
Is this the one that was an earring and it was going to be split like into marquise and
So you've got to make sure the height is just about right. A shallow stone, the bezel can be nice and low. It's only just got to come up. Bezel's just got to come up a fraction to where the stone starts to come in. A high stone like that, you're going to have quite a deep bezel. And this is the thing, if you have it fine silver, you'll be able to burnish it. And the best thing about fine silver is that when you burnish it, it usually stays where it is. Sterling silver has a little bit of a memory. You push it and it always comes back a bit. So even though you may be able to push a sterling silver bezel this way onto the bezel, there's always a slight resistance and the silver will always push back at you a little bit, so you'll have a bit of a gap. But if you use fine silver, it's dead soft. If you can make it dead soft by literally just quenching it in acid when it's warm, which is what usually happens when you've made the bezel, it's nice and soft. And when you push it, it stays where it gets pushed. So fine silver would be my bet for that. Definitely. Yes, Louise.
Okay, cool. Good. Penny has just been doing a photo shoot of my new jewellery collection with a friend who kindly models for me.
Nice.
Oh, fab, we got wet. Oh no, sorry to hear that. But yeah, it'd be lovely to see the photos. Fab.
Please.
Cool, I love a good photo shoot. Okay. Oh. Where did we get to? I'm jumping about a bit here.
That's okay.
Okay. Oh, Lynn uses a for soft stones, a plastic toothbrush handle with the brush cut off. It's firm enough to push the bezel, but it won't cause damage if you slip. Cool.
That is a good idea.
Good. Okay. Good. Good. Lots of nice chat going on. That's good.
Good.
And the mod's getting lots of sympathy
Oh.
for his tonsillitis. Okay, Rebecca's got a question. Can textures be applied to more than one side of sheet / square wire, etc.? If so, how to proceed?
Yes, it can. Just double sandwich it. So usually you would have your sheet, then you'd have your texture, and then perhaps a sheet of copper on top, perhaps. Okay, so this then is your silver sheet, so that would get your texture, but you can do exactly the same thing, have your other texture down the bottom here, and then as long as you sandwich it then with a sheet of copper, something like that on top, you can pass that through and you would get a double texture top and bottom. You could have, you know, on the top you could have like a cross hatch on the top, or you could have like lines on the bottom, or whatever you want. You may get a slight pass through, whereas what gets pushed through on here and gets pushed down this way, if there's a little bit of a gap down here, you may find it coming down and vice versa. So you may get a little bit of the texture from one coming through. But yeah, brilliant idea. You can do it on flat sheet, square wire. Yeah, why not? Do exactly the same thing. Square wire, put your texture on one side, put a sheet on the top, texture on the other side, sheet on the top, pass it through the mill. Why not? Give it a go. But it will work. It will definitely work, yes.
Okay. Another question. Can 2.5 or 3.5 mil thick sheet be textured in the rolling mill?
Yes.
Yep, cool.
As long as it's well annealed.
Great.
Yes.
Susan is saying the liquid for examining gems for floors is Italdo Refractol RI 1.567. Oh, because somebody asked about liquid for that saturation, wasn't it? Gemstone colour saturation,
Yes,
I think that was.
yeah.
But we should have asked Kerry about that yesterday, actually. But yeah, but I'm going to be taking a spectroscopy. Can't even say it. Spectroscopy course in Cardiff.
Medical,
there's no
isn't it?
date yet, but it's going to be in Cardiff sometime, hopefully in the next few months. So I don't know if there's places left, but if anybody's interested in a day of spectroscopy,
And that's using a
spectroscope.
Thank you.
Then
What's it for?
Okay, you're going to test me now, aren't you?
No, I just wanted to just.
It works by determining, because stones behave in different way to light, as we know.
Okay.
So they absorb some frequencies and transmit some frequencies, and you get basically a pattern of shadows in some gemstones. Not all stones will show you patterns, but there are some stones show you a very specific pattern which can be characteristic of a stone.
Yes.
Other stones, yeah, but it's fun anyway. So so if anybody's interested in that, it's really cool.
So go look up on the internet, on Facebook, Gemology Rocks, and if the course is on there, register for it.
I don't know. I don't think it is yet, because we only kind of talked about it yesterday, because there were 3 of us at the event yesterday who wanted to do it in Cardiff, and it's a lovely venue. So yeah,
so
let me know, and I can put you on to Kerry, and she can put you on the waiting list, or the list for the course in Cardiff. But we don't know when it's going to be yet.
Yeah. Or any course.
Or any course, yeah, because they're all great. But it's great because when you go on the courses, you can basically pick your brains, can't you? And yeah, it's good.
Yep, so for anything. Yep, cool.
Yeah, excellent.
Good.
Yes.
Rebecca said, please clarify with the copper. I'm not quite sure. Clarify. I thought we could put the copper on the top to avoid damaging the mill, depending what you're using. And usually, if you use something like grass or leaves, the moisture could damage your rolling mill. So that's why I would always protect the mills with an extra piece of material as well. But if you're doing this sandwich, the idea here, I would still put perhaps some closed cell foam, 2mm closed cell foam, on top of that again, top and bottom. That's my foam. So So you've got a massive sandwich. Now you've got like a club sandwich. You've got foam, copper, texture, sterling silver sheet or whatever sheet it is, texture, copper, foam. Thank you. Next question.
Nice analogy. You made me hungry now. God's Creation Ministry. Roberts, I've had a hard time melting the silver and it hardens before it flows into the red clay.
Okay. Not hot enough. You've got to keep the heat. I don't know what you're using to heat up, whether you're using things like MAP gas or a sievert. You have a temperature, okay? So you have a temperature, yeah? So this is your scale, okay? Whatever the scale is, degrees C, all right? Silver will melt at, say, here, okay? When you heat up a piece of metal, there will come a point when it starts to melt. Great, which is here. The problem is, and as soon as it goes below that, it solidifies, okay? And above that, it becomes, how do you spell molten? Molten?
M-O-L-T-E-N?
Yeah, that's the shower gel. Okay, so that's basically what happens, okay? There is a point that the silver or the metal just about melts, which is that. You heat it up, you see the silver and you go, wow, it's molten. I am now going to pour it. And as soon as you take the torch off, it's at the melting stage. Take the torch off, it cools immediately. It cools, you pour it, it solidifies, okay? So because you've only heated it up to here. So my little analogy is, and I notice quite a few people now are saying this in all the chat that's going on, is that when you heat it and you think it's molten, swish it around in the crucible, tap it. Make sure that the surface now is completely fluid and rolling. It's not scaly or anything like that. Add a bit of borax flux upon the top of it to get rid of any impurities that may be around, like bits of carbon and bits of perhaps the odd spring or two if you've melted down some clasps. Swish it round, make sure that surface is lovely and clear. Then you wait. Keep heating, keep the flame on it, keep the flame on it. And what you want to do is increase the heat, not from the molten stage here. You want to go up in temperature by keeping the flame on it. And what that is called is a superheat. Keep going up and up and up for about another 20 seconds. Okay? Once you've got to that 20 seconds, keep tapping it, keep the flame on the molten silver. This is your torch, this is your silver. The torch is on the silver, you move it in parallel, you move it the same. You keep the flame on the molten silver all the time. When you tip it into the mold, you keep the flame on the silver and where the silver is going into the mold. Then, as soon as your silver then starts to flow, because you've heated it up to here, it has to go all this way, reducing in temperature until it starts to solidify. Then it solidifies, and hopefully by this stage when it starts to solidify, it has filled the mold. So heat it for longer than what you think, and I think you should be fine. A long answer, but that is what you need to do. It has to be a superheat, higher in temperature, hotter than just molten, and then you should be fine. Louise, do we have another question?
Yeah, should we have a photo? Would you like a photo?
Please, I'd love a photograph.
Let's just, I'll show you, let me show you Daniel's cast. Not just yet though.
No, I'm not just yet.
Because Sandra asked me about the flasks with a funnel on the top, which you haven't used, have you?
I've never used them, no.
And we were a bit unsure. I said I don't really know, and then a week or two later, or a few days later I think it was, in fact, Daniel sent me this picture of a cast he made with that very same flask, and I thought it looked great. I mean, I thought the cast was great anyway. So this cast this ring for one of my employees who had to have his tungsten ring cracked up by paramedics, 24.7 grams of 925 silver, and here it is. What a fabulous...
Can I show?
Yes, please.
There you go, brilliant. Worked a treat.
So it looks like the flask is good because it's a fab result and everything else you did brilliantly.
Absolutely.
So yeah, well done. And because I think, like, I haven't done any casting, but I think I'd have a bit more confidence pouring into that
Yes.
than into...
Yes. The only thing that I can see...
Sorry, I'm talking out of sales now. With,
No, the only thing... Look, we've actually sold out of them. I've got on order. But the only thing that I can see is that if the silver touches the metal, there may be a chance that that silver will attach itself to the metal unless you've put some oil on it and there's carbon on it. In that case, the metal will just slide straight off it.
Okay.
And perhaps it's all about a confidence thing, as you were saying. I think if the silver hits the metal will cool it down really quick, and it may cool it too much to fill a mould.
But will it wreck the mould? It shouldn't wreck the mould, would it?
But the other thing that you were saying, confidence. If you've got a sand mould, okay, and you're pouring something into a little channel like that, and you've got your big crucible by here, and you're trying to pour into that. Confidence-wise, that's going to be very difficult, isn't it? But if you've got, and this is what
Daniel.
And what Daniel's showing is that you've got your sand mould, but then you've also got your metal. And I think for confidence-wise, it's going to be easier for you to aim your metal into what looks like a big funnel, even though his went straight in down here, because there was no burn marks on the, if you look, there's no burn marks up. It's only in the middle. So Daniel has poured it exactly right through the middle. And I think confidence-wise, it's going to be easier for you to do that.
Can you rest your crucible on the funnel?
You could do, yes.
Because I would think I would probably be, and the minute you get, you just lose your balls, don't you, almost a little bit. And then if you can rest it on, just rest it when you can take the heat away while it's on the funnel, and then you can just tip.
Tip it in, yeah.
So
I think it's a good idea. I will have to get one and have an experiment. But I think if you can see a bigger hole, even though you're only going to pour down through the middle, it's going to make life easier for you in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. You can steady yourself as well.
That's lovely. I like that. Go back onto that.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Any more pictures?
Fabulous. I think that was the only one of this.
Nice,
yeah. So
thin air holes. I think people make a mistake also putting air lines coming out too thick. You only literally need a penknife just to do the slightest marks and then through out. You don't need to have big lines coming out, because then you're going to get the silver flowing down into those that you've got to cut off, more cleaning up. So nice thin air lines coming out of that mould. Brilliant. Very well done. I love it.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, lovely job, Dan. That's fab. And I've got some Coprolite photos as well from Dylan.
Coprolite?
Dino poo, fossilised Dino poo, yeah, which he's been working on. Look at that.
Is that sliced?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
His isn't brown.
It doesn't look like mine.
Doesn't look like yours, does it? No.
Yeah, lovely, fab.
That's really good.
But what have you been eating?
But that's the thing. I think geologists love finding it because they can analyse then what these creatures ate.
Well, that's why it's so interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, fresh cuts. Excellent.
Looking good.
Yeah,
Very
it's
well
fab.
done.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you so much for that, because that's really fascinating, isn't it? And the last one I want to show you, whoops, is, where am I? What am I doing? Yes, Louise showed me her ammonite casting, which she cast in Delft. And where is it? My computer's decided to. Sorry, normally I've got all these photos up ready, but
It's been manic, isn't it, today?
it's
absolutely manic today.
where are you? There.
You got it?
No,
No, not yet.
not yet. Steady. Here. Any minute now. Here it comes. Here it comes. Yes,
Okay.
look at that. How beautiful.
That's Louise. That's laptop.
Lush.
Wow. That's big, isn't it? How big's that?
Yeah, what sort of size is that?
Is that an ammonite?
Is that Louise?
The ammonite, the ammonite that she found. Yep, and she's cast it.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Very gorgeous. That's a beautiful one, isn't it?
Because Alex posted some photos on our Facebook post as well. Some lovely photos of ammonite castings too. It's really
Very good,
lovely.
isn't it?
Yeah. Love it.
So how big's that? Let us know how big that. What's that going to be? Inch? Judging by the leather, about an inch, you think? 25 mil?
Yeah, it's a good size, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very good casting.
Yeah.
Where did you?
Gorgeous.
What is the back like?
I've just got that photo. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's really good. I'll do like that. Really nice. Really nice.
Oh,
Well done.
Dylan sent me some more photos. Okay.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
Am I off?
You are off. Yes,
okay.
You are.
Good.
We've got some more photographs coming on.
I've got some more. Ooh. A picture of two pieces from those kits polished up. The greenish grey material didn't polish up well. Here is another picture. The other picture is another dino poop. The first one I found before buying the bucket I came across. There's too many different colouring and types of coprolite. Fabulous.
Okay.
So there's, wow.
Can I show?
I don't think mine is dino poo, but yeah, look at that.
You don't know what it's like inside. That's amazing,
true.
isn't it? And you can actually see what the dinosaurs have been eating. Sort of, how many million, 170, 180, 100 million years ago?
Don't know. Bacon. Sand.
A bit of Tyrannosaurus Rex in there. A bit of a Diplodocus. Stegosaurus. I'm just going through all the dinosaurs that I know.
Wow.
Very good.
Yep. Do you want to see another one?
Impressive. Yeah, more again.
Yeah, there's another one.
Wow.
Okay, try this one.
Like a geology lesson today.
This is
isn't
cool, yeah.
That one? Sure. Yep.
Yes, try that one.
Okay.
Look at that.
As well. Wow.
But it makes you wonder, doesn't it, what their digestive systems must have been like.
Crazy,
Don't
isn't
look
it?
that efficient, do they?
But that has never ever been seen. That's the crazy thing.
That's the mad thing,
That is never.
Steak. Claire's saying
It doesn't
steak.
like steak, but it's never.
I'm not having
ever
steak for tea
been
now.
Seen before. Because not even the dinosaur would have seen that.
You don't know, we might have gone,
What's in my poo?
yeah,
And
check my health.
But it wouldn't have looked like that, would it? So that's something that you are very privy to. Get it, toilet? You're very privy to, because nobody in the whole wide world has ever seen that before. And when you cut that, you are the first person to see it. That is amazing.
Cool, fabulous, thank you
there
so
we go.
much.
The ammonite diameter was 20 mil. The back is the same, about 10 grams of silver. Lovely. How did you cast it? Where did you cast it to? Did you cast it from the back? Where was the sprue? Was the sprue in? Was the sprue in this bit here? I'd be interested to know. Let me know. But really good.
Penny sent me a photo.
Yes.
Of.
Can I show this one?
Today's photo shoot. Yes, please, because that's lovely.
How was the holiday, Penny? I'm just trying to think. There we go. That's the one there.
Aren't they lovely?
Flowers? Mine got my glasses on. Can't see.
Well, they're on your head. They're not that far from your eyes, love.
But I can't see all the way over there, you see. I'm having problems here. I should bring a monitor closer.
Lovely, aren't they?
They're nice.
Yeah, lush.
Very good.
Really love that.
Amazing what you can do.
Gorgeous.
Nice one.
Lovely job.
So I think we're coming up towards the end of the hour. We have to finish bang on 5 today, but they are lovely.
Yeah, aren't they beautiful?
Yes, Dylan. It is the best type, isn't it? Things have never ever been seen before. Even when you sort of cut open a gemstone or even a rock on the beach, 9 times out of 10 there's nothing in the rock. But that has never been seen before.
We found quartz though, haven't we?
Yeah.
Remember that pebble that we found and it was just like an eye.
It was
an eye shape. And when you put it to your face, it was pretty much the same size as your eye, and it was literally like full of quartz, wasn't it?
And we were silly, we chucked it back on the beach, didn't we?
I was a bit creeped out by it and I threw it back on the beach, and then a few months later Andrew's daughter got engaged on the same beach. And every time I go back to that beach now in Barry in Cold Nap, I look for the pebble, because the eye has seen them get engaged, and I want them to have the pebble. I shouldn't take pebbles off the beach. I'm not going to take it off the beach, I promise. But I was just going to look at it again. Yeah. But yeah.
You always expect to find it, don't you?
I always look for it. I look for it when I'm there.
Absolutely.
I don't know why, because I'm not going to take it.
But yeah, we're going to have to end very, very shortly. So thank you, everybody. Don't forget, yes, give this a little bit of a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget, keep your questions. If you want to ask Louise anything in the meantime, we will certainly do our best to answer. But if it's just a general question, you can ask in the Q&A. It's louise@andrewberry.co.uk. I have to give that just an At the Bench one as well. What am I going to say? This is At the Bench. And then you have another email address.
It's just someone else to check.
Yes, too many things.
Yeah.
So, yes, Claire, if you want a hand with the rose, you're more than welcome to give Louise a shout out on emails, but you're more than welcome. Anything, you just need to do it. The meteorite is being certified. Thanks, guys. Great. You're more than welcome. Rachel, thank you. Thumbs up would be fantastic. Thank you. We do have a workshop coming up next. It was supposed to be...
next week.
It was supposed to be today.
No, was it?
Not supposed to be, but we normally have it the last Monday. But as we only came back from holidays 2 days ago, we were going to postpone it until next Monday. But we are interviewing for jobs next Monday. Wednesday. So we may not be able to do it next Monday.
We should be able to.
We don't know yet. We'll let you know on the social media.
Whoops. I'm in trouble now.
But what are we going to do, Louise?
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do for our next workshop?
Ooh. Well, somebody, I don't know, it might be a bit boring to watch, but somebody, and I don't know if we just haven't got to that question because there were lots of questions today, somebody asked about pricing jewellery, and we talk about this a lot because it's a question that comes up a lot.
Yes.
And there's quite a bit of discord, isn't there, with the correct way to do it. And it all depends on your approach and where you are in the industry. Are you a hobbyist? You're trying to make a living out of it? And every person's perspective is different. Well, not everyone's is different, but it depends on where you are and how you're positioning yourself. It depends on what the approach you take. So that might be an interesting one, but then, like I say, it might be a bit too... I think it'll send people to sleep.
I think it's really interesting, but perhaps one that we need to just research, find out what other people are doing, what other people are saying.
Well, we know what we do, so we can talk from a business point of view.
Yes. We just need to get all the figures together to back up what we're saying. So there's that. We do have an idea. So it's either pricing up your work or photography. Remember we're going to do a photography one?
Photography would be good.
Photography one could be got...
Rachel's saying pricing would be great.
Yeah,
pricing. I mean, really, we could do a pricing workshop and talk about what we do and what we advise, but then the bits that you could probably relax a little bit on if you're a hobbyist and if you're enjoying what you do and just want to... Because like my dad paints prolifically, and he only ever wanted to make enough to buy materials, and that was all he wanted to make out of it. And if that's the thing, you don't necessarily have to. Nobody should be telling you should be making X, Y, and Z if you're happy, like just funding a hobby. Then that's up to you. So it depends what you want out of it, really, doesn't it?
I think there's too many people out there not telling you the right information, and I think some people are telling you the good information, but it's not enough, and it's been dumbed down and simplified when you should be taking so much more into consideration. And you don't realise that until then your business fails or your little venture fails because you haven't been pricing your work right. So I think you just don't pay yourself what you would do in a normal job, because you've got far more overheads and things that you have to take into consideration. So I think that would be a very, very good one to do. And one then that would be amazing to keep on at the bench, obviously, as all the workshops are. But that would be a really good one. Photography as well. Claire's saying, top photography is good.
Should we do a little bit of a...
Disc is becoming full now,
Okay, we could do a survey.
Yes, okay.
I do love my surveys.
Louise loves her surveys. Okay, so Louise is going to send out, over the next couple of days, a survey A or B?
We might be too late because a costing workshop is probably going to mean a lot of prep.
This is what
we might have to
thinking.
do some slides.
Yes, definitely.
We might have to do some handouts and things for people to download, or some spreadsheets. I don't know. I just think for something to really take away from it and something to work from, I think it would be beneficial to have a few more resources. So maybe we won't do that thinking about it now next week because there's going to be quite a bit of work.
Yes.
To make it really good. We can do it and we can sit here and talk about it, but it won't be as good as if we'd spent some more time.
Some spreadsheets already made up with the formulas and things on.
So perhaps we'll do photography.
Yeah.
And we'll do pricing when we've had a better chance to make it the best workshop it'll ever be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, everyone, we're going to leave it there. I'm running out of space on my disc at the moment, so that's flashing to tell me we're coming to the end. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Sorry we're leaving bang on 5 o'clock, but we have to try and sort a few things out. So thank you everyone who's coming on the chat, and I do apologise if we haven't got to your question, but please but ask again next week if it's not that important, or if you want to get in contact with Louise. It's Louise at I should make that bit bigger and should have it properly up on the top. Louise at andrewberry.co.uk.
You should just have me in flashing lights above the board, really, shouldn't you?
Yeah. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We will be letting you know what we're going to be doing regarding the workshops. Don't forget, there's a £15 charge for the workshops. They're instead of the Q&As, they run about 3 hours long. If you're a paid member of At The Bench, you get them for free. They're already included in with your membership. If you're not a member of At The Bench, why aren't you? Because these workshops cost £15 a time. You just got to buy X amount of workshops and you could have paid for a membership to At The Bench. Brain isn't working today. My addition brain is not working. So everyone, Louise, do you need to say anything else now before we disappear?
I don't think so.
No, everything. So everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. We will see you next week. Keep an eye out on all our social medias, Instagram, Facebook and so forth. The majority of website orders went out today. There's a couple more that we need to post out tomorrow. So thank you everybody who has taken advantage of our subscriber only offers. If you're not a subscriber to the store, atthebench.store, I suggest you subscribe. We don't spam you with any mails, but you do get special subscriber, that's Louise, special subscriber offers that nobody else has, so that is a complete benefit for you. Dust and rectangular moulds out of stock, but they're going to be coming back in over the next couple of days. More products added all this week. That it?
I think so.
Please, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
So it's goodbye from Louise.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Everyone, enjoy the rest of the week. Take care. We will see you next week. Bye-bye for now.